What are the 3 questions that you need to answer before setting your fitness goal? I promise you, if you don't answer these, then the likelihood of your success is going to plummet. What's up, guys? Nick Carrier here, and welcome to another Fitness Goal Friday. Really pumped that you guys are going to spend a few more minutes here with me today to set yourself up for success and increase the likelihood that you achieve your fitness goal. The reason that I'm filming this today with my phone is because today's episode is going to come from an Instagram Live that I did just a couple of days ago. Again, on the 3 questions that you need to answer before setting your fitness goal and before starting attacking your fitness goal. These questions are so important in order to set yourself up for success, because achieving your fitness goal is super difficult and you can't just jump in head first without any forethought. And so these 3 questions are going to be really important and really vital for you to answer. So let's take you right to the Instagram Live. All right, what's up, everybody? Appreciate you guys taking the time out, if you're watching this, to stay a few minutes and learn about how to go about defining what your fitness goal is and setting up your fitness goals. And I've coached hundreds of people to get closer to their fitness goal. And what I've really boiled it down to is the 3 questions that you need to ask yourself when setting your fitness goal in order to set it up in the right way and in order to set it up in a way that sets you up for success moving forward and increases the likelihood that you're actually able to achieve it. And the first question is, ask yourself why you're going after it. And I know that you probably have heard that before. Like, you have to figure out your why. You have to figure out your main motivation. And whenever I heard that over the last few years or like kind of prior to that, I kind of hated it when people said, like, you have to figure out your why. I'm like, that's BS. Just tell me what I need to do actually in order to achieve this thing. And the why isn't as necessarily important right in the beginning, because you're motivated and you want to take action. You want to go. But the why really comes into play, and it's really important when you hit bumps in the road and when things get hard and everything like that, because then you can remember, okay, why did I actually start this thing? Why am I chasing it down? Why is this so important to me? So if you're one of those people who like me, was like, BS, this is bullcrap, I don't need to figure out why, just tell me how I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to eat, how many reps and sets I'm supposed to do, and all that stuff. If you're somebody who thinks that, like, trust this process. I've done this before. I know that the why is super important. And so there's kind of a series of different questions that you can ask yourself in regards to really figuring out what your true why is. What's up, Connor? And so it all starts off with figuring out and discovering your current beliefs, because every action that you're currently taking is based off of a belief that you currently have. So, for example, we drink coffee because we believe it's going to give us energy. We might do cardio exercise because we believe it's going to help us lose weight. We're going to take a nap because we believe it's going to give us more energy, right? Or it's going to make us feel well rested. An action is based off of a belief that we hold. And so I ask you that because if you're currently doing exercise, you're doing it for a particular reason. You have some sort of why and some sort of belief behind the current action that you're taking with your exercise. So the first kind of question that you want to analyze yourself is like, okay, what am I currently doing and what belief do I have behind that exercise? So it's like, okay, if I'm currently doing yoga, I'm doing that because I maybe want to get more flexible, or I want to be able to have a little bit of mindset break, or just like give me some me time. Or maybe I'm doing a lot of running, and maybe the reason I'm doing a lot of running is because I want to become a better runner, or I want to lose weight. Or maybe I'm doing a lot of weightlifting because I want to get stronger. I want to increase my bench press. I want to increase my squat. Like, ask yourself, what form of exercise am I currently doing, and why am I doing it? I am running because it will help me blank. Answer that question. If I'm weightlifting because I think it will help me blank. I'm doing yoga because I think it will help me blank. Because once you can discover your current beliefs behind why you're doing what you're currently doing, then you can kind of start to realize what you actually want out of exercise that you're doing. And once you figure out what you actually want, that's kind of a part of your why. That's only a portion of what your why is. If you're just tuning in, then I'm talking about the 3 questions that you need to ask yourself in order to set yourself up in creating your fitness goal. And the first one is asking yourself why I want to start chasing down a goal in the first place. And I know it can kind of sound a little bit hokey, but the why really comes into play when you run into bumps in the road and you're feeling not motivated. If you can remember why it is that you started it, and you can remember the thing, because I want to set a good example for my kids, or I want to start building habits better for myself down the road in the future. I want to prove to I know for me, I've used before, I want to prove to myself that I'm actually capable to do something that I didn't think I was capable of doing in the past. So ask yourself the why question, and you can do that in a number of different ways. One, ask yourself what you're currently doing. Why am I currently doing that? Because I believe it will help me blank. There's a belief behind your current actions. And then also you want to make sure you ask yourself, like, what is it do I actually want to achieve? Why do I want to achieve it? But then a couple key things here is, how will I feel differently if and when I achieve whatever goal I want, whatever goal I'm attacking? And once you figure out how you're going to feel differently, you'll start to like embody that. You'll start to realize like, oh my gosh, this would actually be awesome if I achieved this goal. And then you want to ask yourself, how will I be thinking differently about myself once I achieve this? Because so many times fitness goals are about self-improvement. They're about bettering ourselves. How are you going to feel differently about your improved version of yourself once you've achieved your goal? So again, the overall thing we want to determine is, why am I chasing down a goal in the first place? And you want to start by asking yourself, what am I currently doing for exercise? Why am I currently doing that? What belief do I have about it because I believe it's going to get me a particular result? Then you want to say, okay, how am I going to feel differently if and when I achieve this goal? And then how will I feel differently about myself? What will I be doing differently, and how will I be thinking differently on a day-to-day basis? And then the last part is really, really key. This is something that it's kind of tough to do. It kind of pains you to think about. But think about what you're trying to avoid. Think about what's up, Jake? Think about what you don't want to see happen to yourself. Like, think about what could happen if you don't achieve this goal. Think about what could happen if you don't stay disciplined in achieving. Are you going to lose self-confidence? Are you going to be down the road and you're going to be not the weight that you want to be? And you're not going to be the person that you want to be. If you can sit down, and it's tough to do, it sucks to do, but if you can sit down and write where you don't want to be and what you want to avoid, that helps bring motivation from the negative side of things. So you want to figure out why you want to do it, and that helps bring you motivation from the positive side of things. But if you figure out and define what you want to avoid, it's going to give you motivation from the negative side of things. So you want to figure out both to have both kinds of motivation. So again, this is all about the three questions that you need to ask yourself in order to set yourself up for success with your fitness goal. And the first one is all about why, and I've talked about a bunch of questions that you can ask yourself. The second one is all about, what is my target? What's the target I'm trying to chase down? And so a lot of people, when creating their fitness goals, they start super conceptual. They think, I want to get in the best shape of my life. I want to be more comfortable and confident in my own skin. I want to feel better. I want to have more energy. I want to maybe lose weight. Like, all those things are conceptual. What does it actually mean what does it actually look like to be more comfortable and confident in my own skin? What does it actually look like to be more toned? Like, how am I going to know when I'm comfortable and confident in my own skin? How am I going to know when I'm more toned? How am I going to know when I have more energy? Because if you're trying to chase down kind of an intangible thing, then you're not going to know how to develop your strategy. So you have to ask yourself, what is the target that I'm trying to chase down? Sounds good, Eric. And the way that we do this is we first come up with our goal conceptually, and then we change it into a target. We transfer it into a target using four qualities. We start it with a verb. We have a starting line, we have a finish line, and a deadline. So let's say easiest example, let's say you want to lose weight. Instead of just saying, I want to lose weight, that's a concept, let's bring it into a target by, I want to decrease, that's my verb, my weight from 200 pounds, starting line, to 180 pounds, finish line, by March 26th, deadline. So verb, starting line, finish line, deadline. You have to move it from a concept to a target. Let's say you want to increase strength and you're doing weightlifting and you want to increase your bench press. Maybe it's, I want to increase my bench press from 185 pounds to 225 pounds by August 16th. Or maybe you're a runner, like I'm going to be chasing down a 1 mile run goal later on this year, depending on when you're watching this. And I'm going to be like, I want to decrease my 1 mile run time from 5 minutes and 12 seconds, or at least that's what it was last time I did it, to a sub 5 minute mile by a certain day in time. And let's say you want to get more toned. Like, you got to figure out what more toned means to you. Like, I mean, crap, it could be like you could be measuring your waist. It could be measuring, if you want to get more toned arms, you could be measuring your arm and like saying I wanted to go from this width to this width, or I wanted to have like you can't really do a picture because that's hard to measure. You can't really put a metric to that. But something that I do with a lot of people is one of my clients in the past just kind of want to get in overall better shape, and so he did the Murph challenge. I don't know if you guys know what the Murph challenge is, but it's kind of a military thing. You start off with a 1 mile run, then you do, I think it's 300 squats, 200 push-ups, and 100 pull-ups, and then another 1 mile run. And so he timed himself. How long does it take me to do the Murph challenge now? And then we timed him at the end of the 10-week program to see how much time he was able to shave off. So that's another way to kind of create a target for yourself. Let's say if you want to get more toned or just in better shape, because you can't leave it as a concept. You can't say, I want to get in better shape and then start chasing down that goal, because that lack of definition, that lack of a target, the fact that stays a concept doesn't give you a strategy. Because like, how do you create a strategy for I want to be in the best shape of my life? Like, of course, like you're going to go to the workout and maybe start eating better, but like, how do you actually develop a very specific strategy for that conceptual goal? You can't. So again, the second question is, what is my target? And you create that target by starting with a verb, having a starting line, a finish line, and a deadline. And then the third and final question that you need to ask yourself in order to set yourself up for creating your fitness goal is this goal worthy, and is it winnable? Again, is it worthy? Is it winnable? I'm going to talk about both of these kind of separately. And it's kind of a balancing game. And it's something as a coach that is pretty fun to kind of try to find this balance with the clients that I coach. So is it worthy? The goal that you're setting needs to be meaningful to you. Like once you achieve it, that you would be fired up. You'd be pumped up. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so freaking happy that I achieved this goal. So if it's a metric, then you need to choose a weight that is worthy. You need to choose a weight that you would be really happy to get down to. If you're trying to increase bench press, let's say, you need to choose a weight that you'd be really happy to be able to lift. If you're trying to run a faster mile, you need to choose a good time that would fire you up to be able to run a mile. And I just had a recent example of this with a new client of mine. And we were trying to figure out his goal because he's already in pretty darn good shape, but he just wants to take it to the next level, which is awesome. And he was talking about how I could kind of probably, shave off 10 pounds and get a little bit more lean and have my abs show a little bit. And so we kind of got to that. And then I was like, let's say in 10 weeks you had that and you looked at yourself in the mirror and you had more definition, you had some abs, like, would that fire you up? And he's like, no, not really. And he had done a pull-up goal in the past, and he's like, that still would fire me up more than simply like getting more tone and having more of a defined six-pack. And so if it's not worthy, if it doesn't mean something to you, if it wouldn't fire you up, then you don't want to do it. So you need to do something that's worthy. Now there's a balancing game. It needs to be winnable as well. Winnable means that I believe that I can actually achieve this. I believe that if I put my mind to it and work really hard, that I can achieve this thing. And so it's really a balance game, especially when I'm coaching people on weight loss goals. Because in my 10-week program, people are like, okay, I want to go from 220 pounds to 200 pounds by the end of the 10 weeks. And they come in with that. And I'm like, okay, awesome. That's great. Love that goal. Let's do it. But do you truly believe that if you put your mind to it, that you can achieve that goal? Do you actually believe full-heartedly if you worked your butt off for the next 10 weeks, you could achieve 220 pounds to 200 pounds in that time frame? And there's a lot of times where having that moment of honesty makes them go, you know what? I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know. And so you have to have that moment of honesty with yourself and asking, do I really believe this is winnable? Do I really believe that I have the ability to achieve that? If the answer is no, then you want to scale back a little bit. So, example, for the weight loss, instead of 20 pounds, let's make it like 15 pounds or 12 pounds. I don't know, whatever it is. Find a number that is winnable. But if I said 15 pounds, if we had the conversation and you went from 20 pounds to 15 pounds, you're probably still going to be pretty damn fired up if you lost 15 pounds, right? Or 12 pounds or even 10 pounds. You still would be fired up if you lost that. And let's say you lost, you wanted to go 20 pounds, but I made you go 10 pounds as the goal. And then maybe you're 7 weeks into my program and you've lost 10 pounds. Are you just going to stop there? No, you're going to run up the score. You're going to keep going, right? But the problem is that if we start too big, the moment we feel that we start falling behind, we're going to quit. That's human nature. If we feel an ounce of futility in the sense that what we're doing is not giving us the result we want, if we feel like we're falling behind, we're going to quit. You see it in sports all the time. In sports, they run up to score. In sports, if they fall behind, you're going to see other people lack belief and start to quit on their teammates. And that's not what I want to have happen with you in your fitness goal. I want you to set a goal that is both worthy and winnable. So again, to kind of rehash the 3 questions that you need to ask yourself in order to set yourself up for success when creating your fitness goal. You have to know why that you want to attack it in the first place. You want to know how you're going to feel differently about yourself, how you're going to feel differently, like physically, when you actually have achieved that goal. And you also want to know what it is that you want to avoid, so you can have motivation from the negative side and from the positive side. And that positive side is really going to come in handy when you run into bumps in the road, when you run into challenges. Remembering why you started in the first place is key. And the second question that you want to ask yourself is, what is my target? Because so many people set conceptual goals that doesn't allow them to create a good refined strategy. So you need to say, okay, what's my target? And you create something as a target by starting it with a verb, have a starting line, a finish line, and a deadline. And then the third question you want to ask yourself is this worthy and winnable? Is this a number that would fire me up, that would get my blood pumping, that would pump me up every single day to go and attack? And do I actually believe I can win at this game? Do I actually believe that I can achieve this goal? I want you guys to make sure that if you're setting a goal right now, that you take the time and ask yourself these questions and really come up with why, come up with what you want to avoid, come up with your target that you want to achieve, come up with a number that is both worthy and winnable, because these are the things that are going to set you up for success when achieving your fitness goal. If you guys stuck all the way around to the end, then I know you're an action taker. I know you're somebody who wants to get better. I know you're somebody who wants to take action, because if you've watched 15, 16 minutes of this, however long it's been, you want to change in your life. And you believe that you actually can do it, because if you didn't believe, you would have pressed pause, you would have backed out a little bit earlier. And so if you believe that you're able to achieve the goal that you want to achieve and you're ready to take some action, I want you guys to make sure you go check out my brand new 10-week program at www.nickcarrier.com/10-week programs. You can learn about the upcoming in-person programs, the upcoming group programs, and you could do the program yourself online as well. And if you want to get coaching from me, then you can do that as well. But make sure you ask yourself those 3 questions. Marquise, appreciate you hopping on here towards the end. I went over kind of 3 questions that you want to ask yourself when setting yourself up for success with your fitness goal. And I'm just kind of wrapping it up here. But if those of you who are action takers who sit down and watch this all the way through, I want to make sure that you get the special offer that is available right now, because my 10-week program is currently on sale and it's not going to be on sale for all that much longer. You can go to nickcarrier.com/10-week programs in order to learn about, again, all the different programs that you can chase down or that you might be able to participate in. So again, figure out your why, ask yourself, what is that target? And then figure out something that is both worthy and winnable, and go chase down those goals.